Episode 2 Revenant is here, and so is its new artifact, and grenade launchers are clearly the new meta. Not only that, stasis is also a huge focus as well, so today I wanted to explore the new DPS meta, delve into the traits you'll need to use to maximize your damage, and then lastly, present 3 really good grenade launchers you can run this season for some really explosive results. That was terrible, why did I even put that in? Alright, so what do we need to know about the new artifact? Primarily, we've got 4 mods you want to have equipped before you pull out your favorite grenade launcher. First one is the most important, and definitely non-negotiable, unless you can manage to apply a larger debuff. That's the new Breach and Clear, or the new name, Concussive Reload. And the fun part about some of these traits coming back is that they now have additional benefits if you use some of the new potions from this episode, so keep an eye out for those in the artifact as well. Concussive Reload will weaken a boss, champion, or any combatant if you break their shield, so already right there you have an extremely easy debuff, and that works not only for heavy grenade launchers, but also special Breach Load grenade launchers as well. Next mod is Kinetic Impacts, which basically is kinetic tremors, except for your heavy grenade launcher, which will stack on a little bit of extra damage. Full transparency here, I don't have early access to anything, so all of this is written and recorded before the update dropped. I don't have the exact damage numbers. That said, considering we're already weakening bosses with our grenade launchers, and now we're getting some extra AoE damage, I think that's going to be a really nice combo. After kinetic impacts, you'll also want to slot on rapid impacts. Grenade launchers can be kind of annoying because reload is kind of what kills their DPS value. It can be really slow for some of them. Rapid impacts will alleviate that issue a little bit. Perk states that dealing damage with grenade launchers temporarily increases the reload speed of grenade launchers. Really nice, convenient, self-perpetuating loop that also eases a typical pain point of grenade launchers and their slow reload. So up to this point, the artifact is just gifting our grenade launchers easy weakening, additional AoE damage, and increased reload speed just for dealing damage. All 3 of those things will be amping up our DPS really nicely. So grenade launchers are definitely looking really good. But one more thing I wanted to point your attention to before talking about those grenade launchers you'll want is the artifact perk here, Conductive Cosmic Crystal. This perk states that your arc abilities, void abilities, and any weapon with the Dark Ether Reaper origin trait do bonus damage to targets affected by a stasis debuff. So keep an eye out for any heavy with this origin trait on it. I know there's a double fire stasis grenade launcher already. That'll be worth keeping an eye on depending on the extent of the buff for sure, and that includes any weapon. So if there's a rocket or a linear fusion that comes out later in Act 2 or 3, any heavy with that trait is going to be getting that buff against stasis debuff targets. Depending on how strong the buff is going to be, it might dictate how much you're willing to invest in it. So you could try using a Typhon grenade launcher with chill clip to self-proc slowing, and then chuck something like Gathering Storm for hunters, Nova Bomb for warlocks, Twilight Arsenal for titans. Twilight especially does a ton of damage, and self-procking a stasis debuff with a chill clip weapon would be sick. Come to think of it, you don't even need to use a heavy GL. Maybe use the new stasis grenade launcher in the kinetic slot with chill clip, and then swap to another DPS weapon like Edge Transit, or whatever you want. There's also Riptide that has chill clip, great gun there. I'm already envisioning some cracked solo DPS rotations that I can't wait to see. So if there's anything in the artifact I'm missing here, please comment. I'd love to hear your guys' ideas. So now that we know what's going on with the artifact, what are some good grenade launchers for this episode? Well, first on my list is Edge Transit. No surprise there. There's a few reasons I like it. It's free, so anyone can get it, even if you downloaded Destiny just yesterday. It has great traits, and the activity it comes from is still pretty fun in my opinion. I like Onslaught, probably a little bit too much. Chat knows that. Speaking of chat, I do stream on Twitch sometimes, and I will be live tonight streaming the new episode. Definitely have a good time over there, and I just added some pretty interesting rewards, so definitely check those out. Again, I'll be live tonight. Definitely stop over and say hey. Anyhow, Edge Transit can really crank damage with a few busted trait combos. You got Envious Assassin, Bait and Switch, that's a go-to for many people. Massive magazine, and a little bit of weapon swapping for a consistent 30% damage buff for 10 seconds. That's a lot of damage and a lot of mag size. There's also Cascade Point in the first column, so you can mag dump really fast if you want to, or simpler options like Field Prep for fast reload while crouched, larger reserves, or Explosive Light for extra damage from orb pickup. A lot of options, a lot of flexibility, and you can earn these weapons pretty quick from Onslaught, especially if you attune Edge Transit with Zavala. For number 2, I've got Cataphract, the Trial Strand grenade launcher. A couple reasons I'm picking this one, we'll get to those in a minute, but this weapon kind of swings to the other side of things, being way less accessible. You don't need an adept drop for it to be worth it either, and if you really love PvP, then this is a great weapon for you to get. If you don't like PvP, then I just wouldn't even bother. While it just barely missed the window for retroactively enhanceable weapons, it still has great traits like Envious Assassin and Bait and Switch. Explosive Light in the second column as well, even auto-loading holster in the first column, and that would certainly work better in certain rotations compared to Edge Transit. One of the reasons specifically I'm interested in Cataphract is because it has Demolitionist. Demolitionist in the first column there provides an instant reload when you throw your grenade, which as far as I know, Cataphract is the only grenade launcher to roll both Demo and Bait and Switch right now. Feel free to fact check me though. Could be wrong about that. Ordinarily, I wouldn't say that's a huge deal, but Demo works with prismatic grenades, so you can mag dump or a regular grenade, unload again, activate Transcendence and throw that grenade, and then unload again. And that grenade recharges really quickly anyway, so there's a lot of potential to use Demolitionist with Transcendence builds. I imagine there is some way to work in some really good damage rotations with that combination, so that's definitely something I'm excited to try out with all the new artifact mods. The other reason I'm interested in Cataphract is because I think it's probably the best Adept grenade launcher for DPS right now, and Adept mods just got reworked recently, so none of them have the huge downsides that they used to. It wasn't a huge deal on heavy weapons anyways, but it's nice to not be penalized for using Adept mag now, which is a very nice mod to have on a heavy weapon. At number 3, I've got Wendigo, an Arc heavy grenade launcher released in Season 20. I have no idea how it's been that long already, but Wendigo still sports some decent traits, and it's still obtainable from Zavala and the Legacy tab if you have the engrams to spend. Speaking of vendor weapons, I released a video a couple days ago before the end of the season about every vendor weapon that you should get. It's kind of guided towards spending your engrams before they go away, but it's still definitely relevant. Feel free to check that out. It was obtainable as an Adept back in the day, so you got that going for it too. Clown cartridge, field prep, auto-loading holster are all solid options in the first column, and then you've got a variety of DPS perks to choose from, including Golden Tricorn, Frenzy, Full Court, Explosive Light, and Cascade Point. Golden Tricorn could definitely be nice situationally in maybe Nightfalls or something if you can clean up some ability kills, get a 50% damage boost. Not necessarily the best for boss DPS. If you want consistency, I'd go for Explosive Light or Cascade Point. It's not the best launcher out there. I think both Cataphract and Edge Transit are better, but Wendigo is solid and it's still pretty accessible, so if you need something, it's definitely an option for you. And actually, you could earn both at the same time since Original Onslaught is a Vanguard activity, so you can earn drops of Edge Transit and get engrams for Vanguard to get Wendigo at the same time. Pretty neat little interaction. Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up with that. Bottom line is, there are some really good grenade launchers out there, and the artifact just made them a lot better, including exotic launchers too. So if you want to use Weakening, Anarchy, or Parasite for some reason, that's an option as well. Witherhoard being a grenade launcher is also going to apply that weakening effect, and being damage over time, that's kind of unique. So definitely worth checking them out this season. If you enjoyed the video, then definitely subscribe. I really appreciate it. I will be covering all the new Revenant content, as well as streaming it over on Twitch. So definitely stop by over there and earn some beans. If you need a Discord community, I also have a small one. I'm over there. I talk to people regularly, and it's the best way to stay up to date, so check that out in the description as well. Anyway, just appreciate you watching. Enjoy the new episode, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya!